Guys, it has been 7 years since I moved to Southwest Florida. I drove 1,500 miles from West Michigan to Southwest Florida, started my own business. I moved down here May 1st, 2016. I started my first business September 26, 2016. And here we are, literally now, 7 years later. And today, I want to share with you my top 7 things that I've learned in my first 7 years of being in my own business and brick and mortar businesses, okay? The first thing is everything is a lesson, good, bad, indifferent, okay? Whether it be how to sign a lease, whether it be employment issues, whether it be team members, whether it be competition, whether it be personal guarantees, whether it be opening another business, another revenue stream, whatever it is, good, bad, indifferent, clients, the way they speak to you, it doesn't matter. Everything is a lesson, and our goal is to get better every single time. Okay, so we should always be learning from the lesson. And one thing that I've learned is whether it happens is good for me, whether it happens is bad for me, whether it's a win, whether it's a loss, what can I take away from it that I can use to get better the next day? And when you start to look at things that way, it changes your perspective a little bit. But not only that, it really helps you not let the wins be too high and the lows be too low. And the losses be too low, right? Or the issues or the fires or the things you put out every day in day-to-day life, especially as a local business owner. So everything is a lesson is definitely the first one. They root for you until you pass them. This is probably the second largest lesson I've learned being a local business owner. I remember when we first started, it was... people were literally bringing 7, 8, 9, 10 friends a month. Okay, we had 900 and something clients, 943 clients, I think, at our high point in 3,600 square feet or less. Every session was literally over full of capacity, and it was bananas, right? And that was in 2016, and I knew nobody. And then what happened was as we grew bigger and bigger and bigger, and like I got a new car, and remember, I didn't pay myself for the first 6 months. I paid back all my debt. I gave other people raises. I donated, and we raised, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for kids' Christmas before I ever even took a paycheck, before I ever even upgraded my life in any way, right? And then when I opened my second location, when I wrote my first book, when I started our supplement line, there started to be people who would be like, "Oh, you've changed. Oh, you're this," and they'd like send me pictures of like how like this, that, and the other, and it was like, bro. This is what you wanted. Like, you rooted for me. You were like, man, you guys are doing so well. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And that was what everybody would say, right? It's like, you guys are killing it. You guys are the best. You guys are great. I brought all my friends. And then when they look up one day and realize that, hey, man, like, he's lapping me now, what happens is animosity kicks in. And this happens at every level, guys. This happens with business friends that I've had. This happens with clients that I've had. This happens with coaches that I've had. It's just part of the game. It's very difficult for people who started at the same or ahead of you to be grateful and supportive when you pass them, right? Instead of saying, man, what did you do to go from here to here? Because I'm still here. They don't look at it that way. They look at, well, if he's winning, it must be taking away from my ability to win. And that is not how the real life game works at all. Never has been, never will be. So this is probably one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in the last 7 years. And just understand it's part of the game. Nothing you can do about it. Honor your contracts. Holy crap. This one has cost me and made me a ton of money, right? So, guys, in business, and this is a lesson that one of my mentors taught me, is whether we're friends or enemies, we're always going to have a contract, okay? And the reason we're going to have a contract is because what we're both agreeing on today, there could be a million things that happen down the road where this changes, but this way we have something on paper we can take a look back at, decide whose problem this is, where the fault lies, and go from there, and it's written and it's binding. And I will tell you, whether it be with your clients, right? The number one biggest mistake I've seen, and this is definitely for gym owners, but one of the biggest mistakes I've ever seen with gym owners is they don't like doing contracts because their members don't like it. Well, do you like being able to pay your bills every month? Do you like knowing how much money is supposed to come in every month? Do you have a fee if they cancel? Do you uphold that? Do you send people to collections if they don't pay their bills? These are things that every big business does. It's part of the game. And the problem for a lot of local business owners, especially when you're first starting out or you're small, is you think that everybody's a special snowflake. And then you realize very quickly after your 400th special snowflake that they're just like everybody else, right? Treat them as such. Now, everybody's unique and everybody's blah, 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 and special, and I get it, but they're not, okay? You signed this. This was the cancellation policy. This is what we agreed on. You fuck this up, you're out, right? And that's just how life works, okay? And again, you do this with mortgages. You do this with cars. You do this with cell phones. You do this with Netflix. You do this with every business that is successful, and every big gym that is successful has contracts. They do, period. So do you want to be successful, or do you want to make 700 side deals? Because let me explain something to you, and this is one of the biggest things I've learned, is when you're a small business owner, everybody expects special treatment, but then they'll go out and buy LeBron shoes or Jordan shoes or Kobe shoes, and they'll spend full price and never think twice, but then they'll come ask you for a discount, right? They'll go to Whole Foods. They'll go to Publix. They'll go to Walmart. They buy whatever it is. That's the price. It is what it is. But when it comes to local small business who they support, they always want a deal. Don't do it. Have contracts. Draw your line in the sand. Be firm, and eventually it won't be a big deal. The other side of this coin, guys, honoring your contracts. As you grow in business too, so I've learned this with franchising the hard way, right, is, hey, I'm going to provide this and this and this. I expect you to do this and this and this. And if you don't do this and this and this, I'm going to defranchise you. And I've done that. I've had franchisees who literally were worthless as hell. They couldn't run a lemonade stand if they tried, but they were successful. It was a business that they bought, and they expected me to do all the work. That wasn't what the contract said. That wasn't what my agreed upon side was. They didn't uphold their end. They're done, right? It's that simple. So I'm telling you guys, at every step of business, you're going to have people who try to take advantage of you no matter what level you're at. So have an agreement, make sure that it's good for both of you, make sure you're both happy with the outcome of it, and then sign it, put it away, and get to work. Hopefully you never need it, but you might, okay? This one I learned the hard way in my second location, right? So when we opened, remember my first location, right, we had 940-something members. We were literally turning people away. We did not have space, okay? That's an actual fact. It actually happened multiple times. And we decided to open a second location. Well, we opened it with ego. We had no idea what we were doing. We had people in charge who should have never been in charge. We had no sales systems. We had no sign-up systems. We just knew basically that our marketing company could get people in the door, and our experience was so great that we could get people to come back. That's all we knew. So obviously, when we opened our second one, it was exponentially harder than we thought, because I literally could not clone myself. I could not be in two places at once. We had a great team at the time, full of people who were super passionate about what we did, would work their butts off, would work more hours than anyone else. But at the end of the day, still to this day, those initial teams worked more than anyone in my company. Like nowadays, these little kids I got today would fucking quit in a heartbeat if they had to deal with what the hours that we had to deal with when we first opened. But that's just how business works, right? But once I learned this and I started to develop systems for my second, you have two choices when you're developing systems, right? Is, do I build this for 2 or do I build this for 200? I would always tell you, if you're going to build systems, build them as if you're going to be the next big thing, and then act as if, and then set everything into SOP and into motion. And when you're building systems, make sure that you say, okay, well, I can do this with 2, but could I do this with 200? And normally what you're going to find is you can reduce a lot of the fat out of your systems. You have a lot of extra little ticky-tack things that don't need to be in there. They can be extra things that the coaches or that the business do to be successful. They can be little details, but they don't need to go in the actual scalable system, because it's something that would be extra in order to run the play, right? So that's my only tip when doing systems is you're going to need them, especially if you're going to do multiple locations of a business, or even if you ever just don't want to have even if you're an owner of a business and you do everything, at some point you probably didn't open the business to build yourself like a 100-hour-a-week job. You probably want to be able to have work-life balance. And in order to do that, you need other people who can come in and run a play, but you have to have a play for them to run, and you have to have had them run it so that you know where the holes are in the play so you can adjust those before you totally hand it over to them. So system scale, build it for 200, not 2. Don't slow down. This would have cost me everything. I would have been out of business in 2020 had I have slowed down. And I've been through 2 Category 5 hurricanes in the last 5 years, in 2018 and then last year, between Irma and Ian. And to be honest, guys, I can tell you that if I would have slowed down and I wouldn't have franchised, I would be out of business today. My best location was my 3rd location. My best franchise deal was my 4th franchise deal. My best supplement that's ever come out was our 3rd supplement and our 2nd flavor. And then our latest supplement with the sleep supplement, right, with Weight Nutrition. So side note, if you haven't been to weightnutrition.com to look at our supplements, I recommend you do. If you need help picking out what works for you, just DM me. I'll be more than happy to help you. It's at Aaron Nash 20 on Instagram, and I'm more than happy to talk to you and help you get whatever you need. But don't slow down. Whenever you're building things, keep going, keep expanding, keep financially intelligent so that you can keep building and building and building and building that machine. You're never going to know when you need that machine to be bigger than a certain pitfall. And I'm telling you, I've learned this the hard way, that slowing down, I would have been out of business a long time ago had I have slowed down. So always keep your foot on the gas responsibly. Dreams evolve. So when I first moved down to Southwest Florida, guys, my biggest thing was I just wanted to have a gym that paid my bills and that I could, live in Southwest Florida and have a good life. I accomplished that very quickly. And then I realized how selfish that was because it didn't provide enough income for everybody who helped me get there to have their life. And so we started opening more locations so that more people could have profit sharing, so that more people could have a percentage of the pie, so that more people could have bigger salaries, bigger abilities, bigger lifestyles, bigger dreams, and to hit those things and better careers. And I'm telling you, that's as we've evolved and evolved and evolved. Now our mission is to be a nationwide company that literally affects obesity on a national level and actually cures obesity and gets Americans healthy and fit with PFIT. That is our mission. That is our goal. That is where we're doing. Every company that we have does that, right? Weight Nutrition, PFIT, we all PFIT franchise, and we're all doing this all day long. We have franchises all over the state that are crushing this, right? This is what we do. We are after the obesity epidemic in our country. That is a massive dream. That takes a massive mission. That takes a massive amount of people to affect even a tiny little change. And that is what we're after. But when I first started, guys, my dream was simple. Pay my bills and have a house. Once I accomplished that, I realized that my dream needed to evolve. My dream needed to get bigger. I was going to lose great people. I was going to lose the ability to advance myself. I was going to become worse because I was going to become stagnant because I would have hit my goals. So you don't need to dream to change the world right now. Just dream that next step and do the work to get there. And then once you're at that step, say, okay, man, we accomplished this. Your belief and your confidence starts to grow. And then it becomes, what could we do next? What would be the next step of this mission? And then you attack it and you have an action plan and you've proven to yourself that you can take these steps. And that's the key. So keep evolving your dream. And then finally, you cannot win if you quit. 3 days a week, guys, in 2023 at least, 3 days a week of this year alone, I have wanted to quit every day. 3 days a week. I wake up, I go, I don't want to do this anymore. It's just fire after fire after fire after setback, after breakdown, after closing, after franchisee issue, after supplement issue, after losing product, after having trucking companies lie, after having so many people go do their own thing, after having people open competitive businesses, after being slandered, after being canceled, after being it just never, ever, ever, ever stops. Ever. But here's the trick. If I quit, all those people who want to see you fail, if you quit, they're right. And you can't let them be right. There's nothing worse I could think of I don't care if I lose, because if I lose, I'll learn. My skill set is so advanced from where it was when I first opened. I know my abilities. I know what I'm capable of. I know I'm an absolute monster at business and at sales and at marketing. And if there's a skill set, I know exactly how to go learn it, exactly how to research it, exactly how to go find a mentor in that space and become a freaking assassin at that. I know the skill set, and I've done it, and I've proven it to myself over and over. But I'm telling you, the one thing I will never, ever be okay with is those people who want me to fail, not being able to look at them and wink and smile because they can't beat me, because I will not stay on the mat, because no matter what, I get back up, and eventually I will win, because you will get so tired that you will quit punching me in the face, and I'll win by default. I will knock you out based on your inability to continue to punch me in the mouth. That is relentless pursuit, and you cannot win the fight if you stay down. And I'm telling you, this is the biggest lesson that I've struggled with over the last 7 years. And it seems like every year the problems get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But you know what? So does your responsibility. You have a responsibility to every single person who walks into your business, to every single person who trusts you with their career, to every single person who wants results. You have a responsibility to them. These are the top 7 things that I've learned over my first 7 years of business. I hope this video helps you. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. This one means the world to me. Have a great day.